Welcome to Under the Microscope. This series is brought to you by the Real Scientists Nano team. Our goal is to provide a platform where scientists can communicate their work and interact with the public.
Hi everyone. Today we have with us Pablo Ares, who is an assistant professor at the Department of Condensed Matter Physics at the Autonomous University of Madrid in Spain. Hi Pablo, how are you?
Hi, hello.
So let's start with understanding your research a bit. So could you explain your research to us in super simple words, please?
I've been working my whole career with atomic force microscopes. So my research basically deals with the AFM, atomic force microscope, usually is called AFM from the capital letters. So my research basically consists in using AFM to study different low-dimensional systems. So part of my research consists as well in the technique itself. I love the AFM technique, so I like to try new things, develop things. So we have a lot of experience and background on that, as I will explain later. So basically my research, I use AFM, and other techniques to study, as I told you, low-dimensional materials. And now in the last years, I'm mainly focused on 2D materials, graphene and other 2D materials. So we use this Nano tool to study these materials.
Okay, all right, that sounds cool. AFM is also one of my favorite techniques that I use during my master and PhD as well. So we can talk a bit more about that, of course. You mentioned you're working with the low-dimensional materials and more specifically graphene and like other 2D materials. Do you have a favorite nanomaterial from the AFM point of view that is one of your favorite?
I have a couple of favorites.
Okay.
For example, one of my favorites I can say are gold nanowires, because we've been using, we've been using the AFM tip to manipulate gold nanowires and to move them and assemble them to make nanoelectrodes. So that was quite fun to play around with them and to see that we could cold weld them and make nanoelectrodes in a controlled way that we did. And another, let's say, favorite nanomaterial, I have to say, could be antimonine, which is, from graphite you get graphene, from antimony you get antimonine, which is a single layer of antimony atoms. Because, I say it's one of my favorites because during my PhD, we were the first ever to isolate it. So I have a special feeling with that material.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's a mean question to ask a material scientist or a nanoscientist. What's your favorite material or so?
Yeah,
but I thought I will give it a shot.
In my case, it's easy to answer because of that. So no problem.
True. That is awesome. Great. So, your research is super interesting, and I'm sure you have a lot to share with our followers. So, what can the followers expect in the week that you will take over the Real Scientist Nano Twitter account?
I would expect, mainly, I would say, scanning probe enthusiasts, and also now maybe 2D materials researchers, I would say. But as I told you, I would also talk about 1D, like the gold nanowires, and a bit of, I will try to cover a bit of, based on my experience on 0D materials like nanoparticles, 1D materials like nanofibers or nanowires, and then 2D materials like this graphene, antimonine, and other materials and combinations of them. So I would expect a bit, a bit of everything maybe, because as AFM can be applied to many different things, many people could be attending. So.
Right, absolutely. So there would be a lot of material talk, a lot of AFM talk and scanning probe talk, and you will talk not just about 2D materials, but 1D and 0D.
Yeah, maybe a bit, just to show, to give some examples of things that can be done with AFM.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. And also, how is it like to be a scientist in Madrid? That's also something that could be interesting, right?
Yeah, it's quite. That's also something I want to talk about. I think it's quite interesting. I'm in Autonomous University of Madrid, which is based on a campus, let's say, outside Madrid. But it's a very nice campus because here we have beside the Autónoma University, we have also in Spain there is a National Research Council. So here in the same campus, we also have the Materials Institute of that National Research Council. So it's just 5 minutes walking from our building. We also have another facility which is from the region of Madrid, which is called INDEA Nanoscience. So there is a lot of people also doing things in materials and different nano things there, which is also another 5-10 minutes walking from the physics building. So there is in a short area we have a lot of different nano facilities. So it's easy to interact with different things, and that's I think that's quite cool for nano enthusiasts. So
absolutely. I mean, it looks like a concentration of bright minds and a lot of facilities as well, like lots of tools, like characterization tools and like different machines and
and also you can talk with many different people working on different things with theorists. I'm an experimentalist, but there are also a lot of theorists around, so we can just with this situation now, it's difficult sometimes to share a coffee with someone, but in